I was in a conversation yesterday, one person down in the area of the West Warwick area saving $800 this year on that car tax with multiple cars in the family. And a relative who said, I have been holding off buying a new car because I did not want to pay the car tax of a new car. And that individual just bought themselves a new car, which again helps our economy. So these things that we talk about, whether it's the $250 per child credit that's going to go out, or the car tax with millions of dollars, that $250 tax credit is over $40 million of tax relief to the state of Rhode Island. So when you start talking about immediate relief in a time frame where there has been inflation, this is what we're here to talk about today. So Rhode Island Energy, the state's primary utility, recently announced that it is requesting a significant winter rate increase effective October 1st due to an unprecedented surge in energy costs this winter. I also want to make it very clear that to apples comparison, spring rates and winter rates are two different things historically. So when we compare, we should be comparing winter rates to winter rates and spring rates to spring rates, because historically spring rates are lower than winter rates, and we need to make sure that we, I know it gets reported because where we are today on a spring rate going to a winter rate, that increase, but this is a natural increase during the winter season, and I think that we need to be aware of that. So because of the request of Rhode Island Energy on that increase, because of the cost of the futures that they've been buying through when the National Grid actually was in charge of the utility company, this request, my administration has taken immediate action to protect Rhode Island ratepayers and help some of our most vulnerable neighbors with this burden. I've asked the Public Utility Commission to take the following 3 actions, which is just the beginning, because we will intervene, our administration will intervene in that rate case along with the Attorney General and making sure that those calculations are calculated accurately. As I have as Lieutenant Governor, where I intervened multiple times with rate cases with the PUC. So first, we've asked them to suspend the customer charge on residential electric bills until next summer, when electric prices are projected to decline significantly. Second, we've asked them to distribute $32.5 million in Rhode Island Energy electric ratepayer bill credits from the state settlement with PPL Corporation back to ratepayers over a 6-month period that coincides with this coming winter when electric rates will be increased. And third, moderate the impact of ratepayers by spreading the highest rates over a 12-month period, which will provide immediate relief as you spread those payments over a 12-month period of time rather than a 6-month period of time. So in addition to these requests, today I'm announcing that I've directed the state's Office of Energy Resources to use $3.8 million in funding from the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative Fund to provide direct rate relief to low-income Rhode Island residents who are at most risk not being able to afford their electric bills this winter. And Chris, thank you so much for your leadership on this. Actually, it's his brainchild as I bring a lot of people together to talk about how can we really offset this increase. Chris is the one who engineered this program, and I really appreciate his leadership. This is expected, and think about this, this is expected to help approximately 39,000 low-income customers with Rhode Island Energy bills accounts during the winter electric rates period from October through March. 39,000 families will be benefiting from this effort that we're announcing today. So Director Kearns, Acting Director Kearns, will walk through the details, but this will help ease the burden of higher than average electric prices and continue our commitment to provide relief to Rhode Islanders in the face of rising prices and inflation. So the letter that I've sent to the Public Utility Commission with those 3 things that I just outlined, in addition to this effort here today, and we also have other things that we're working on, and as they come, as we approach the October 1st time frame, we will have other ways that we're going to help minimize this impact of this increase of energy costs. So again, I want to thank Chris and the OER team for their quick work on getting this initiative up and running in a way that will be able to be timely with to help the ratepayers in the state of Rhode Island. And I would like to introduce Lieutenant Governor Matos, who has actually been working with us on multiple of these issues, but thank you for your leadership too, Lieutenant Governor, on these important matters.
Thank you, Governor.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning. It's good to be back here. I spent a lot of time in this room having trainings for nonprofit organizations, so it's good to be back here. Thank you so much. I do want to thank the governor for taking this initiative, and also the Office of Energy for working to make sure that we find ways in which we can help alleviate the challenges that our community is facing right now, especially our population that are on fixed income, like the seniors. Rhode Island can afford a spike in energy costs right now, no matter the global circumstances. The governor has put together a smart series of requests to the PUC to help mitigate the cost spike, including using these credits. This is a vital program to provide relief in the face of this rate spike. And we need to continue with further actions going forward. We should work to place the burden of shifting energy costs height into the energy companies and not in the low income and fixed income families. That includes a permanent payment plan option for individuals on fixed income and lower income individuals. And also, we should be looking at putting a shut-off moratorium until these rates are normalized. Our families cannot afford this up and down on the rates right now. In the long term, we cannot rely on fuel sources like natural gas, which has caused the spike. We must turn to green energy, and that's why the governor and the the Office of Energy has been working very hard to make sure that we support the off-wind energy options here in the state of Rhode Island. To everyone that is watching, I want to say if you need help navigating the cost savings programs available, and like this one that is being announced today, don't hesitate and call my office, the Office of Lieutenant Governor, and we will be assisting you. Thank you. With that, I want to introduce the Director of the Office of Energy, Chris Kern. Chris.
Thank you, Governor and Lieutenant Governor, for that introduction. Governor, I recognize the importance of this subject for you. As I remember when we first met way back in 2015, if I recall, when you were working on the Empower Rhode Island website to explore third-party energy suppliers to provide consumers alternative options when exploring their energy supply costs. So I know this is very important to you. The governor has made it one of his priorities to examine all options to mitigate these unprecedented electricity increases to consumers, including the ideas that he's laid out in his letter to the PUC. The governor was also sensitive to our most vulnerable constituents within the low-income communities, and if there were any options available to reduce the utility rate increase impacts during the winter months. And as the governor mentioned today, OER will be releasing for a 30-day public comment period our drafted Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative plan that will propose providing $3.8 million for direct rate relief to approximately 39,000 low-income customers that have the A60 rate class with their utility bills with Rhode Island Energy. I should also note that the RGGI allocation plan will also maintain ongoing support for our renewable energy and energy efficiency efforts as we continue to implement and support these efforts that play a critical role in implementing the Act on Climate. As it relates to the RGGI plan and the $3.8 million, there will be 2 public comment hearings at the Department of Administration, one scheduled on September 6th, the other scheduled on September 8th. One of the big things that the governor wanted to do is in terms of the general public being able to attend these public hearings, be able to provide comment. So we're providing one of these hearings in the morning, one of these in the afternoon, evening, recognizing everybody's personal and work schedules and obligations. So we wanted to provide the general public more than one opportunity to submit comments, because we value those comments as we get this plan hopefully up and running and implemented in late September. The drafted Regi allocation plan will be posted on the Office of Energy Resources website on the homepage. If you have any questions, Robert Beadle from my team, our communications director, can provide you that information. This proposed funding, again, will support low-income customers during the winter months. The billing period will begin on October 1st through March 31st. Consumers will ultimately see their bill impacts in the November billing cycle through the April billing cycle. We estimate that providing this $3.8 million to low-income customers and those 39,000 constituents will provide roughly $14 to $17 in relief in their monthly utility bills over the next 6 months. And that's a monthly savings for those constituents to be able to use those funds for other things that they need with their family. So this is a critical priority for my office. Again, the public hearings will occur, and we plan to ultimately get this funding over to Rhode Island Energy, PP&L, to ultimately have that reflected in the reduced rates to those constituents for the November billing cycle. Thank you.